Southeast Asia. Please give your warmest welcome to the impossible to our impossible man himself, Mr. Nick Vujicic.
Privilege and honor. Please be seated. It is my joy to be here in Singapore. I think this is my 10th time to Singapore. Anybody from Singapore? Anybody from Indonesia? Selamat pagi. Terima kasih. Anyone from Malaysia? And anybody outside of Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia? Please be seated. Thank you so much. It is my privilege and honor to be here with you this morning. Thank you, Nu Skin, for having me. It is an absolute privilege and pleasure to be here. And I want to encourage you to dream big, to never give up, and to go to the next level. And I know that you're all recording on camera, but I'm not here to be recorded on your camera. I'm here to actually be talking to you. So put your cameras down, please, and take a seat. Because then I would rather be here on video and not be at home. So if you want to be here, then be here. Sit down, you got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, quick, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I really want you to sit down so you don't have to block the other people's view as well. Nu Skin, are you ready to go to the next level? Put your hand up if you've been in this company for over a year. Great, put your hand up if you've been in this company for over 5 years. Awesome. Who's been in this company for less than 12 months? Awesome. Can we welcome those people? I am someone who really loves to inspire people to dream big and to really live their life to their fullest potential. And I'm really thankful for the video that you guys produced as an introduction, and I love that last photo of me and my family. Can we actually bring up those family photos now, please? I want to introduce you to the greatest blessing of my life after salvation itself. This is my wife, Kanae. She's half Japanese, half Mexican. We call that Japsican. And we married 6.5 years ago. You can turn my volume down just a little bit, please. That would be great. And this is my first son on the left, Kiyoshi. He's 5.5 years old, and this is Dayan. He's about to turn 3. And now we also have twin identical girls, which is amazing. We have Olivia and Ali, and I think the front area. So Olivia and Ali. And so we have 2 boys and 2 girls. And man, they're a handful, let me tell you. When I met my wife, it was love at first sight. I couldn't feel my legs, I couldn't feel my hands, and it's just been an incredible journey as I have traveled around the world. And I used to work really intensely on the road quite a lot. And if we can take that photo down now, please, that'll be great. But in my life, I never thought that I'd ever have a family. I never thought that I'd ever find fulfillment in my life. And what I want to talk to you today are not just the pillars to be successful in achieving your goals, overcoming adversity, and basically being unbound by fear. There are so many times where the fear of the future, the fear of failure, and even the fear of success binds you up and you feel like you can't move forward. So how do we become courageous? How do we live a life of tenacity? And how do we stir up that courage to actually overcome whatever barriers and obstacles you have? As a 35-year-old who's an entrepreneur, I have 2 companies. In California, I actually was born and raised in Australia, and I moved out from Brisbane, Australia at age 23 years old to start our companies in California, both Attitude is Altitude and the non-profit organization Life Without Limbs. And when I was a child growing up in Melbourne, Australia, I was wondering and never really thought that I'd actually get married. I was wondering, would I ever actually find someone who would be by my side? Will I actually find a job? Will I actually be happy? So we're going to be talking about how to take your life to the next level, but understanding the principles of life to have fulfillment and joy no matter what. First of all, put your hand up if you've seen me on YouTube. Anybody seen me on YouTube? Awesome, very good. I want you to write this down. Attitude is altitude. Can you say that with me? Attitude is altitude. Now with conviction, 10 times louder. 1, 2, 3. Attitude is altitude. You know, there are many times in my life where I looked at my circumstance, and obviously it's not a good thing to have no arms or legs. But what's the other perception and angles of our challenges that we can actually get fuel from to achieve our goals and dreams? You know, when I was raised in Melbourne, Australia, my parents always said, Nick, remember to be thankful. And you know, it was difficult to be thankful. There were times where children would come up to me at school and they'd say, what happened? And I go up to them and I say, cigarettes. And I wanted people to understand that, yeah, sure, I have no arms and legs, but I also have a sense of humor. There were people who came up and they didn't know what to do. You know, do they shake my hand? Do they look at me? Do they ignore me? And one day in Melbourne, we have some cold weather sometimes. This adult didn't know exactly what to do with me. And so I wanted to break the ice. And I said, pretty cold, huh? And he looks at me. And I said, I can't feel my hands. And he laughed, and I realized, wow, humor can really be something that's a tool for me to even overcome my own perception of my adversity. And it's a tool to actually break the ice and kind of feel like I'm like everyone else. You know, more than the circumstances that we have physically, it's the mental, emotional, psychological, and spiritual things that hold us back more than having no arms and legs. And you know, my parents always said, Nick, be thankful, be thankful, be thankful. And so I started using that humor more and more. And I've actually now been around the world, 68 countries, 2,500 flights. And when you're on 2,500 flights, you come up with some crazy ideas. Like, I don't know if you saw this one on YouTube, but we actually dressed me up as the pilot and greeted the passengers as they came on the plane. Has anyone seen that one? We actually put hidden cameras in a jetway in America, in Texas to California. My friend was the pilot. And I said one day in front of a crowd, how cool would it be to actually dress me up as the pilot with the hat and the jacket and greet the passengers and welcome them aboard? And my friend said, hey, we can do that. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, I don't want to get handcuffed, right? I don't want to get in trouble. And so he's like, don't worry, I've got some contacts. So we actually got approval, and in front of the whole jetway, right outside the door of the plane, right out of the door of the plane, I was standing on the floor, dressed up as the pilot, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. So everyone's half asleep. No one's talking to anybody. Everyone's sort of, you know, drinking their tea and coffee and, you know, coming closer to the plane. And then they see me standing in front of the door and they're like, what? And I said, good morning, my name is Captain Nick Vujicic, welcome aboard. And they're like, are you flying the plane? And I said, we're so excited that you're with us, we got some new technology. And it was as if the caffeine just kicked in and they're like, no way, like, is that, like, how do you do that? And it was so awesome, like the parents were freaking out and the children were like, oh, this is so cool, I'm gonna put it on Instagram, you know? And everyone's like, you know, can I take a photo? Can we get a selfie? And I'm like, yeah, cool. So they're like on board. And all the parents are like, hey, did you know about this? No, I didn't. Are you sure that you didn't get an email or something? No warning at all? No. So they're freaking out, right? And so my friend, he says, okay, come on board. Everyone's on the plane. So I walk on the plane just like this. And you look down the aisle and everyone's head's like this. And I tell you, man, some people were freaking out. Some people committed their life to God for the very first time. And it was so cool because I got the microphone and I said, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for boarding so fast." It was so much fun. But the funniest story of all, and I'll tell you why I'm telling you these stories. The funniest story of all is one day I was in the car and I'm in the front seat and we're at the traffic lights. And this car comes up next to us and this girl's looking at me. So I'm looking at her. And all she sees is my head from the side. So just imagine all you see is my head from the side. I just did this. And she thought my head did a 360-degree spin. And her face was like, so good. So why do I tell you these stories? Because sometimes what you see isn't true. Yes? Sometimes even when we see something, we interpret something that's not true. And when we don't see what's around the corner of our future especially, we start becoming afraid. When you look at the title, I Am Possible, you need to understand not the word possible, you need to understand the words I am. And my question to you is, who are you? Are you a thankful person? Who wants to be happy? Let me ask you, new skin, who wants to be happy? Raise your hand. Okay, put your hand down. Who wants to be sad? Anybody want to be sad? No one wants to be sad. And so many times when I was going to school, I looked at me, I looked at Nick Vujicic, and I stared at him in the mirror, and what did I see? I saw a little boy with no arms and no legs. I am Nick Vujicic. I am born without arms and legs. I am disabled. I have challenges. When I went to school, you know, I saw everyone with arms and legs, and I came home and I said, "Mommy, Dad, I don't want to go to school." Why not? Because they're teasing me. Oh, don't worry. We love you. There's a bigger plan for your life. You're beautiful and you're special. I hate it. I don't want to be special. I want arms and legs. And if I just had arms and legs, then I am a person like everyone else. And so I didn't like the situation I was in. And I didn't really give myself enough credit for who I am. Unfortunately, in May of 2017, we buried my father of cancer. He battled cancer for 21 months. And he was diagnosed with cancer in September 2015. And he always taught me many, many principles. And the first thing he said is, the happiest people on life and in their life on earth are the ones who are thankful. Write this down. Number one, attitude of gratitude. Everyone say, I am thankful. I'm going to give you 7 points, and the first point is the attitude of gratitude. Why? Because I have seen many people who think that all they need is something, and they've been working for that something, and they finally get that something, and that something doesn't satisfy. Let me give you an example. Who has an 8, 9, or 10-year-old son or daughter? Raise your hand. Okay, put your hand down. Do you think that they know what stress is? If you set them down and you ask them, do you know what stress is? They're going to be like, of course I know what stress is. Homework is so hard, and my brother or my sister, they annoy me every single day, and I wish I was just taller or more popular in school. I'm so stressed out right now because my mom and dad, they don't give me everything I want. All my friends, they have more than me. Anyone have a 13-year-old? Put your hand up. They know what stress is. Oh, everything around me is changing. My parents, they live on another planet. They don't understand me. And I put a do not disturb sign on my door and they still come into my room. They freak me out. I need my privacy. I need to figure my life out. I am so stressed out. I thought I could trust my friends and then they backstab me. They invite me to the party, then they uninvite me to the party. I'm so stressed out right now. I need a boyfriend. If only I was 17 years old, then I would be happy. Why? Because I have less challenges. No, they get into the last year of high school and now they're stressed out. They're going to get into the right university. If I can just get into the university, then everything's going to be okay. No. They get into university and now what do they need? To be, again, number one. So then I can get a job. Finally, when I get a job, then everything's going to be okay. They get their job and is everything okay? No. Why? Because their boss stresses them out. And all the people, all the single people, I can't wait to get married. I know that I'm not happy and satisfied in my life until I find the one. And I tell them this, go talk to the married people. Because you want to know why? Because the married people will tell them, honey, if you ain't happy single, you ain't gonna be happy married. There's some married people clapping over here. They know what I'm talking about. So then what is it that makes you fulfilled? What are you waiting for? Who are you? Do you see my foot? Ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. What would it have to take for you to say, you know what? I'm happy. Let me ask you a question from the other side. Are you a person with an attitude of gratitude? Are you thankful for what you have? The best way to know if you are is imagine that you have 15 seconds to breathe. 10. When was the last time you hugged your loved ones? When was the last time you got your wife flowers? When was the last time you had a conversation with your children that had nothing to do with cleaning their room or homework or their future job? When was the last time you thanked your friend for being your friend? Why do we have to wait for a bad day before we're really thankful? The person sitting next to you has good days and bad days. And we don't know what they're going through. But the fact that you're sitting next to them, the people who have attitude of gratitude, is the understanding that every day counts. And the I am of who I am has nothing to do with actually how much I have. Has nothing to do with what job title I have. Has nothing to do with how rich I am. Because of my dad's funeral, they didn't talk about how rich he was, or his success, or his achievements, or his jobs. You know what we talked about at my dad's funeral? Who he was. Who are you? Are you a kind person? Are you generous? Are you quick to forgive or not? In fact, do you realize that every day is a gift to the point that I'm going to actually ask you right now, with the permission of the person sitting next to you, give them a high five, give them a hug, and say, hi, I love you. Go.
Hai thôi cắt đâu đây đúng rồi mấy ngày này cảm ơn chị.
5, 4,
Quá
3, 2, 1. Everyone say, I am. I am possible. What I want you to understand are these principles before we get into going to the next level. I want you to know to be thankful. Who is Nick Vujicic? He's a motivational speaker. Great, wonderful. Ready? Take out my tongue. Pluck out my eyes. Cut off my ears and burn my skin. You can never touch my soul. There is not another Nick Vujicic, and there is not another you. You are you, and you are possible. Don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about what other people have compared to you. You are beautiful just the way you are. And I want you to know that you have a lot of control with the decisions that you make. I'm not saying that all you need is positivity. No, I'm not that person. You know those people that say, well, all you need is just to be positive. I feel like headbutting them in the face. And then say, just be positive. Right? What we got to understand is that there are many people with different religions and philosophies, and I understand that. But when I was 12 years old, now that we talked about having an attitude of gratitude, really knowing the truth of your identity and your purpose is next. So the number 2 thing I want you to write down is find the truth of my value. Find the truth of my value. When I was 12 years old, I was at an airport and a woman looked at me and she said, were you born this way? I said, yes. She said, do you know why? I said, no. She said, would you like to know why? I said, yes. Now, for the record, my parents don't know why I was born this way. My doctors don't know why I was born this way. And Lady Gaga don't know why I was born this way either. And as I was going through school, I was wondering about these larger questions. Who am I and what am I going to be? And many people said, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I'm like, well, I can't be a fireman, I can't be a policeman, I can't be a, all these things. Because I am Nick Vujicic and I have no arms and legs. It kind of like even defined me. Forget about the fact that I had no arms and legs. My head and my heart were disabled. And some of you have arms and legs, but your head and your heart are disabled. Yes? What would you rather have? A disabled body or a disabled heart? A disabled what? Body. Because there are so many times where in life, sometimes we feel like we have everything we want and everything we need, and we still don't feel free. And I want you to be free because some of you actually have been told by your own parents, you are crazy. You're not good enough. You're a failure. And I want you to know to get rid of that, to understand the truth of who you are. And sometimes when people say things, it's not always true. And this woman, she said, well, I know why you were born this way. And I'm like, what do you mean? She said, have you heard of reincarnation? I said, no. She said, it's very simple. You're a perfect example of that philosophy. I said, what do you mean? In your previous life, you were a very, very, very bad boy, and now you're being punished. And you are now made without arms and legs. And I'm like, what do you say to a woman who just tells you that? Like, do you say, thank you so much, you changed my life? She said, but don't worry. And I'm thinking, what do you mean? There is hope. She says, yeah, in your next life, now that you're a good boy, you're going to come back like a butterfly. And I'm thinking, that sucks. I don't want to be a butterfly. You know how many butterflies I've killed in my wheelchair? So what we're going to understand is when you find the truth of your value and your purpose, people can say what they want, but in the end, let me tell you when Nick Vujicic is happy. Watch this. It's not about my bank account. Yes, I love my wife and I love my 4 children with all of my heart. But I wasn't just born on earth to enjoy this place called earth. One of the greatest things that has satisfied my soul is to make a difference. And I want you to know that when you look at the word I am, it is wonderful to be able to shut out the lies with fact. And the fact is when you're a 19-year-old child like I was, who was doing a double degree in accounting and financial planning, went into stock market investing on options trading at age 16, lost $40,000 in the dot-com bubble back then. Then I went into real estate and made $100,000 in 12 months on my first deal in real estate at age 19. And then when we did all that, we went to South Africa with $28,000 cash and went to an orphanage that needed washers and dryers and diapers and nappies and medical equipment. And we gave them their first soccer ball and some sports equipment and stuff that they could actually enjoy this earth a little bit more. And we gave them their first treat of pizza and Coca-Cola in 1 year. It was one of the best days of my life. And when you realize that it's not just about you thinking you achieving something or having a miracle, watch this. I wanted arms and legs so bad. Little did I know, I didn't need them. I don't need arms and legs. Look. I would be great to have arms and legs. Am I a man of prayer and faith? Yes. Do I have a pair of shoes in my closet in case a miracle comes? Yes. But I'm not waiting for them to be happy. I want you to understand my heart is full. My head is strong. I don't need arms and legs. What I do need is the truth, and the truth has set me free. That I don't need to be you, and you don't need to be me. Be the best you can be, and when you figure that out, you realize, see this table? This whole life is about truth, taking you closer to your goals and dreams, and lies. Oh, you're ugly. Oh, you'll never achieve anything. Oh, you'll never be happy. Nick, you'll never get married. Even if you got married, how can you even hold your wife's hand? Today, I don't need to hold my wife's hand. I just need to hold her heart. And you don't need arms and legs for that. Oh, how are you going to hold your kids when they're crying? Well, when my children cry, I can't put my arms around them, but they put their arms around me. I want arms and legs, yeah? You want something even better than arms and legs? Here it is. Ready? What a cool day it was at age 24 when I was speaking in front of a crowd. And I saw a little boy with no arms and no legs just like me. And I'm like, wow. He was only 19 months old. He had a little foot like me. And I'm like, that's incredible. Some of you in Malaysia, you've seen me on your national media with that little girl. They call her now Little Nick. After seeing me, the Malaysian government didn't allow her to go to a mainstream school, and one of her teachers put her outside the classroom because the teacher didn't believe that she should be able to join in on the school curriculum. And after I went to Malaysia, all of a sudden, she was accepted and her family felt embraced by the Malaysian government and the education school system. How cool is that? We gotta understand that when you don't get a miracle, you can still be a miracle for someone else. When I met that little boy, Daniel, I saw his mom and she cried on my shoulder and she said, thank you, thank you, thank you. I said, why? She said, Nick, look, there's my son. Now I know that he has a hope, plan, and future because of your life. And I said, you know what? When he goes to school, if he ever gets bullied and teased at his school, I'm coming to his school in my wheelchair and I'm going to run them all over. No, I didn't say that. That's not the nice thing to say. But I went there and he was getting teased, and after a 15-minute speech, no one teased little Daniel after that day. So awesome. So awesome. In fact, I just got a phone call saying, hey Nick, can you come to his high school, middle school? And I'm like, why? Are they teasing him there too? They said, no, he's like the president of the school and he can't stop talking about you, and so they all want to just meet you. You know, when you can make a difference in someone else's life, it kind of becomes worth it. What's your goal? What's your dream? What's your legacy? What's the truth of your value and your purpose and your destiny? When you know all these things, now we can get into the fun things. Everyone say fun things. Turn to the person next to you and say, are you ready? Ask him again, are you ready? All right, everyone take a deep breath in and out. Sit up straight in your chair. Here we go. Here is the next 4 points I want to give you, and now I want to help you to achieve your next level of achievement in life. Before we get there, I want you to write down though a heading. Say, I am thankful. I want you to write that down on your piece of paper before we get to point 3. This is before point 3. I want you to write down the 3 things that you're thankful for. Maybe it's family, maybe it's faith, maybe it's friends. And now I want you to write down 3 biggest obstacles that's stopping you from achieving your goal and dream. So the first list is going to be 1, 2, 3, the things you're most thankful for. And when you look at that list, make sure you make calls today. Call your wife, call your daughter, call your son, say, hey, I love you. Make sure that they understand that you are thankful for them. Now with your goals and dreams, when you look at now your obstacles, 1, 2, 3. Is it a lack of skill or knowledge? Is it a lack of experience? Is it a lack of money? Is it a lack of training? What do you think is standing in the way between you and your goal? Write them down real quick. And now I'm going to give you the keys to success. After you have an attitude of gratitude and you know the truth of your value and your purpose and your destiny. 4, 5, 6, 7. Write this down. Sorry. Number 3, 4, 5, 6. Write this down. I don't know what I can achieve until I try. One of the things I am most thankful for is the fact that my parents allowed me to fail. I'll never forget when I was 6 or 7 years old, there was something on the bookshelf that I wanted to reach and I just couldn't reach it. Mom, can you please help me? You know what she said? No. When we were at the store, at the shopping mall, Dad, Mom, can we have that? You know, they said, no. Get your own money. But I don't have any money. You know, they said, figure it out. Tell your neighbor, figure it out. Go. Tell him with conviction, double volume. Tell him, figure it out. That's exactly what my parents said. They said, your brother takes out the rubbish bin and he makes $1 or $2 a week. You could do something, figure it out. So I'm like, okay, well then I'm gonna maybe vacuum. So I got the vacuum cleaner and I got it on my shoulder. I was 6 years old, turned it on with my chin and I would vacuum the whole house once a week for $2 a day. I am so thankful my parents didn't give me everything I wanted. Parents, stop giving everything your children want. Sorry, you are not doing them a favor. Make them understand what it means to set goals.
make them understand appreciating what they have. They will never appreciate what they have if you give them everything they want. So when I wanted a $15 toy from the store, guess what that meant for me? I had to work at least 8 weeks to save up $15. And then guess what? When I had $15, I then had another thought, well, what if I don't buy it now? And is that for sure what I really want? It taught me self-control. It taught me an attitude of gratitude. It taught me patience. It taught me to set a goal. It taught me persistence. Because my parents said no. And one day when I was reaching up for that bookshelf and my mom said, no, figure it out, you know what I did? When you want something so bad, you figure it out. Yes? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to achieve your goals and your dreams? You want to know how you know that? Is what you do today. And I looked around and I didn't complain about what I didn't have. Some of us waste time at wishing you had something more. Do you want to know that the billionaires of this world were never focusing on what they didn't have, they focused on what they did have. The people who are most successful aren't the ones who waited for more to come into their life to then do more. It were the people who decided whether more blessings come to me or not, I am going to become, watch this, if you get this, your life will change forever. I will master leverage, leveraging and using everything I have to the best of my ability. Those are the people who are most successful, not the ones who stand on the sideline and say, well, I need more training, and I need more people to believe in me, and I need more leads, and I need more opportunity, and I need, no! What do you have? If you need more training, if you need more motivation, if you need more inspiration, my question back to you is, how bad do you want it? Because how bad you want it will then change what you do today. Are you with me, New Skin? Yes. Is this too strong for you? No. Is it good? Yes. Say, it's a good pain. It is. It sucks for someone to tell you up here that, well, just figure it out. But it's the key. It's the key.